So everyone, welcome back to Strategic Management and TQL. We're about to discuss SWOT Matrix. So SWOT Matrix is an analysis tool for evaluating corporate situations. However, it is also used to generate strategies. Of course, this is strategic management. So the matrix is actually found in our modules. So we will go over this later on. So there are four categories in using SWOT Matrix. We have strength and opportunity strategies. We have strength and threats strategies, weakness, opportunity strategies, and also weakness and threats strategies. So we start with strength and opportunity strategies, or SO. A strategy where business says you use their strength to take advantage of opportunities. This is also known as maxi-maxi strategy. Take note of this term, maxi-maxi strategy, an attacking strategy. An example of this is when Henan Group of Resorts was able to put up a property in Panglao Island in Bohol. So, naita ng Henan na the destination is becoming popular for local and foreign tourists alike, and nakita nila yung need, and nakita nila na ang market ng Panglao is a very untapped market for a high-end properties there. So what they did, since alam nila that they have strength sa market share nila, then the opportunity, they put up sila ng property doon. So that is the perfect example of strength and opportunity. So following with that is strength and threats strategies. Also known as maxi-mini strategy, this is a defensive strategy. This strategy considers the strength of the organization to avoid threats. Just mentioned, diba? General knowledge is that the threats can be in the form of many phases actually, depende. COVID is actually one of the threats of the businesses. An example of this is in Jollibee. Jollibee sold their oversupply of chicken during the 3-month lockdown period. They sold it as ready-to-fry products. Jollibee knows that they have a powerful brand, but the lockdown was their threat of losing sales. So of course, the strength is Jollibee knows their market position, their position in the market basically. And nakita nila na the lockdown is their impending threat of losing sales, of losing profit. So what they did is that they used their strength to their advantage. They innovated products na para hindi sila mabawasan ng sales or hindi rin sila mapanisan. So again, kanina, Jollibee knows their strength and the threat is the lockdown. So moving on to weakness and opportunity strategies, this is known as mini-maxi strategy. This is where businesses take advantage of opportunities by overcoming weaknesses. Okay. Taking advantage of opportunities by overcoming weaknesses. This identifies the weakness that can hinder to take advantage of opportunities. Its aim is to build strength for attacking purposes. An example of this is Cebu Pacific. Cebu Pacific was not exempted during the lockdown in 2020. Pandemic and government policies became their weakness during that time. So, pati Cebu Pacific nag-halt sila ng operations. Diba? Nung lockdown, everything was put on hold. Pero there are a loophole in the IATF where you can actually apply for a government grant that your business will be converted into an essential business. So what did they do? Passenger aircrafts was converted to cargo aircrafts to fly essential goods. The government granted them operational status and they continued to operate even during pandemic lockdown period. So, for this example alone, Cebu Pacific, alam nila na itong naging weakness nila. Hindi sila makagalaw during the government imposed lockdown during 2020. But they saw a loophole, they saw an opportunity para hindi mawalan ng sales. So they turned that weakness into opportunity by converting their aircrafts into cargo aircrafts to fly essential goods which are allowed during the lockdown. So that is weakness and opportunity strategy. Next is weakness and threat, also known as a mini strategy, a defensive strategy also, where its aim is to minimize weakness to avoid threats. Strategies that are being developed here are for building strengths to help defend the organization. So medyo mahirap to intindihin sa totoo lang. Pero i-give an example para magkaroon ng face itong strategy na to. Weakness threat strategy are complex to analyze, as mentioned kanina. An example of this is when Philippine Airlines filed for Chapter 14 bankruptcy in U.S. courts. During the bankruptcy, the company needed to sell some of its assets in order to pay their creditors while the company is still operational. This is also the time that competitors can overtake or abuse this period dahil yung mga binibenta ng Philippine Airlines, pwede kasi siyang bilhin ng competitors and they can use that assets against them. So, what did the Philippine Airlines do? By example alone, PAL identified that their weakness is not paying back to their creditors. And the management created ways to shield the company from its competitors by issuing statements that they are not closing. I'm sure nakita niyo. Carefully selecting buyers of their assets, they are trying to avoid airlines na hindi nila ka-partner in the routes para hindi ma-take advantage yung bankruptcy nila. And continuing to operate during the period for market presence. So, ayun, alam ng PAL that their weakness nila is yung creditors nila and nagkaroon ng threat. The threat of them ceasing operations. So, ang ginawa nila, they use their weakness to their advantage. Kailangan nila i-define yung sarili nila for that impending seizure of operations. So what they did, they filed for bankruptcy, which then halted creditors from going after their assets. In turn, their assets can be sold para bayaran yung creditors while sila ay operational pa. So ganoon yung weakness and threat strategies. So how to develop a SWOT matrix? Of course, you need to come up with SWOT of your business. So example natin, strength ko, we have better pricing, we have unique product. Weakness natin is pangit yung suppliers natin. Opportunities is untapped market. Threats is, of course, the threat of new entrants or threat of new competitors. You need to create this muna. So the next is create a 9-cell table and place the external factors and internal factors on the axis. So, ito yun. This is the SWOT actually, the strength, weakness, opportunities, and threats. These are the combination of the factors. No? We have SO, strength, opportunities, strength, threats, weakness, opportunities, and weakness, strength. Ayan siya. You need to first write this down. Next, in the cells for external factors, write down the opportunities and threats, important and relevant to the organization. As mentioned kanina, opportunities natin, we have untapped market, and I labeled it O1, Oscar 1. The threats, ang sinulat natin kanina, is the threat of new entrants or the threat of new competitors, which we labeled T1 or Tango 1. Next, of course, nalagay natin yung strength and weakness. As mentioned parang kanina, we need to label it S1, S2, kung gaano karami yan, S3 for S5, W1, W2, W3. Fifth, we will now generate possible strategies in each of the categories of combinations. This is the part where we would be mixing and matching each of the factors to come up with a strategy. So, bago pumunta dito, remember to label each formulated strategy where the thought came from. So, as mentioned kanina, di ba walang nakalagay dito? So, we would now come up strategies for strength and opportunities natin. So, let's start muna dito. I wrote here increasing company presence in the market through marketing. So, Of course, kasi sa opportunities natin, nakita natin untapped siya na market. And we know that we have a good pricing versus our competitors. So what can we do? We need to increase market presence through marketing, through advertising, to aggressive advertising, so that clients will know that we are there. Diba? So of course, we need to label kung saan galing yung thought. Kunwari, hindi pala kunwari. As mentioned ngayon, S1, doon ko siya kinuha, S1 and O1. So, mix and match kasi siya. So, pwede siyang S201, S201, S2T1. It would depend. As shown in the next slide, you can also generate strategies by using multiple factors for each combination. So, ito is S101, and we will now go to weakness and threats. So, sa weakness natin, we identify that we are weak in suppliers, pangit yung mga suppliers natin. And you have a threat of new competitors. Diba? So what can we do? Look for companies that can deliver supplies directly instead of going through a middleman. As mentioned in your supply chain management, na mas mura pag kumuha tayo directly sa mga manufacturers instead of going through retailers. This reduces the cost of raw materials and in turn creates a much better pricing versus our competitor. So mahihirapan na siyang, kung nakakuha tayo ng mas lower cost na raw materials sa mga suppliers natin, mas maganda and mas lower yung pricing natin na pwedeng ibigay sa public or sa clients natin. In turn, mahihirapang habulin tayo ng competitors. So kinuha ko yung strategy na to sa S1 natin. We have the weakness, W1, and the competitors, T1. So we will now give examples for this. Come up with a strategy, either remixing and matching. No? We have W1 and O1, or a combination of everything. So this will be all from your judgment. You will use your previous subjects to formulate strategies for your organizations or for your business, para sa movement niya. So here are some key takeaways from the SWOT Matrix. No? SWOT Matrix are the most popular among the matrices. It can be used on a business level to the overall grand strategy. Dahil very flexible yung SWOT Matrix kasi. So nakita natin ang levels of management earlier. We have top level, middle management, and we have the business level management. No? So it can be used on all levels. SWOT Matrix is handful because of the numerous strategies that you can conceptualize based on the factors that you have listed down in SWOT. So those are the advantages of the SWOT Matrix. So this ends our discussion for SWOT Matrix. Thank you and good day.